Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday with me, Ryan, aka Sifu Messiah. This is a weekly show which covers everything from the world of Star Citizen over the past week. Links can be found in the description for everything we discuss, so let's get on with it. So today I will bring you the normal episode of Star Citizen Sunday. Sorry for its delay. This was pushed back due to the Gamescom special event. So today we cover everything that has happened on the RSA website from the past week. I'd just like to say a quick thank you to all patrons, as you are really helping make these Star Citizen Sunday videos possible. If you are interested in becoming a patron, head over to our Patreon page using the link in the description. Thank you. So, kicking off as usual, we have 10 for the Chairman, where Chris Roberts takes 10 of the questions from subscribers. First question being, how is the NPC population expected to function within the persistent universe? Will the NPC exist constantly in the background? Will they be randomly generated once a player enters that instance? How will this be calculated into the economy? So, to answer, Chris says that they have a full universe simulator which runs on one server. This isn't the game servers, this is one separate server which simulates around 20 million AI agents. He said it's not to the level that you would expect to see when you are face to face with these people. It's more back-end jobs. Say someone going from one planet to the next planet would take about 1 day of game time. They may run into pirates and then sort of like a throw of a dice will determine how that pans out and so forth. But if you are there to see them, then you will see the combat and you will see how it unfolds, which will all be fed into the universe. They can track the AI, you see, so they know exactly what each AI is doing, but they will not have to be rendered and created within the game server for the information to be fed back to the universe server. So they can do that in the background without you taking up any bandwidth or whatever it's called. And he says that even if there is only one real person playing in the universe, it would still function and you would still see people flying around and taking jobs and so forth. So it is a big back-end thing that will really create the world and make it feel real and alive. Anyway, the next question is, will the character in Squadron 42 be a silent protagonist, or will he use text, or have a choice of different voices? And he says it's not going to be silent. You're not going to have a quiet person like in the Grand Theft Auto series, the first ones. You can either choose from a male or a female character. You can obviously customize your look. Now, they are looking at doing additional voice work. They already have the voice recorded from the actor who played the character, but they are toying with localized accents. So if you have an English IP address, then you would have an English voice pack instead of if you had an American IP address, you would have the American voice pack. Now, they would obviously like other different voice packs, but he said he's not 100% sure whether they'll do it yet. It would be cool. I would love to be the voice for the English. But anyway, he says in third person, you will be able to see the mouse move, which is kind of becoming a common thing now, which is very cool. So the next question is in regards to community content and what does he like, what doesn't he like. But basically, what would you like to see in the future? And they say long term, they would like to give access and proper tools to allow people to do more formal content. So they make it a lot easier for people, because obviously at the moment only people with CryEngine assets or CryEngine abilities are able to create certain community content things, so they want to open that up for everyone to just use as they please. So moving on, next question is, how will the multi-crew system handle ship inertia? Will the localized physics grid add force to the procedural animation depending on the character's position, which is a pretty cool question. So if the ship gets knocked, will everyone sort of sway around in the same motion? And he says they will be simulating it. He says first iteration won't have it, but Chris Roberts says that he really wants this in. So if you get hit by something that creates an explosion and, as I say, rocks the ship, everyone will stagger in it in a similar manner. Later down the line, he says they will try and get it going. They are working on things which will help set it up, and CryEngine actually has something called procedural hit locations already in the CryEngine itself. So he says it's going to happen, but maybe later down the line. So next question, how does Star Citizen plan to implement multi-crew in a compelling way? And he says it will sort of be similar to Artemis. You'll have your different stations like your helm, your radar, your engineering, the turrets, the sort of shield controller, etc., etc. Lots of different systems, and you'll control things with much more fidelity and effectively than if you had a solo. So if you was just in a ship on your own, obviously you can go between your ship systems, but doing it on the fly in the midst of battle is very difficult. So you'll have much more control over them as a single station, and using voice over IP, you'll be able to communicate between your friends. If you're the pilot or the commander and you want certain things like shields towards the rear, then you can request that and then they'll be able to do it. So on and so forth. He did say though that first off he expects people will speak and communicate through TeamSpeak, but eventually they'll like to get their VoIP chat in, which is very important in my opinion. Anyway, next question is, will there be a difficulty setting for Squadron 42? The guy asking the question says that he's not very good in the dogfighting module, and I mean I'm not that great either, so I don't want it on the hardest difficulty. And he says that yes, they will have have some levels of difficulty. An example he gave was easy, hard, or insane. He says they've not properly thought it out yet, but he did say that he doesn't want easy to be too easy. He wants you to be able to, when you achieve something, feel like you've actually achieved it and feel proud that you've achieved it, rather than just, milking your way through the whole game because you can't do it. He wants it to be a bit of a challenge, so it should be interesting to see what they come up with. Next question, pretty cool question, is will there be floating debris fields of scrap metal for salvages akin to asteroid fields, or will there be salvaging opportunities only after certain battles have finished? And also, will there be a salvage deep dive document in the future? Now, I am most hyped for salvaging. My ideal gameplay would be to be in your reclaimer. I would love a reclaimer, salvaging away, and then you come across a derelict ship. You have to board it with your friends. There could be something on board. There could be pirates, aliens. God knows that's one of my most anticipated aspects of Star Citizen, so I was happy the question got asked. And Chris says that there'll definitely be debris fields for salvaging, very much like you see asteroid fields. And the sort of lore behind it could be from space battles that happened a while ago. This will also include derelicts, awesome stuff. And also, real-time battles will give you opportunities if you hang off in the distance and wait for ships to be destroyed. Then you can go in there. He said it will be cool for the reclaimer. But in regards to a deep dive, he says that'll have to come from Tony Zurovec. It's on his plate. It's not Chris who demands them. I think it's Tony Zurovec that once he comes up with them, he then hands it over to the web team to put up. But he did say that maybe one in the future will come up soon, but he can't say whether it would be in the next month or two. It's going to likely be a lot later than that. He said possibly with the debut of the reclaimer. So hopefully it won't be too long, but obviously with things like Squadron 42, other ships are taking priority, so the reclaimer has probably been pushed back. So second to last question, again another great question. Will ships degrade in the hangar over time even if not used? Does this apply to other items like weapons, clothes, helmets, containers, decorative items, so on and so forth? And Chris has explained so little bits here and there that the ships will require maintenance, but he did say it's through operational use. So if they're just sat in your hangar, they're not going to degrade. They do have a whole wear and tear blend layer thing, so over time your ships will degrade. You'll have to go to a repair shop to buff them to, well, not brand new, but closely under. And the same will go for weapons and clothes and so forth. Every item you are wearing, or you have, your weapon, your ship, your clothing, they will degrade if you are using them, which is cool because it will show up that you need to buy clothes, you need to upgrade your weapons, and also it'll give that character to your ship, that if you went into your hangar and saw this battered up little Aurora and thought, you know what, I need to do something about this, and you can get it all cleaned up and like you do with your car. It needs a wash or a buff on the side. You take it to a repair shop or a car wash. Very cool. I love that answer. Anyway, final question is, will there be a Linux client in the not too distant future? Chris says yes, they want to make Linux work. The game is already compiled in Linux, but he says it depends on the OpenGL timeline. And obviously at the moment other things are taking up more time, like DX12. So he says not too distant but not too close future. So it'll come and it won't be too long. Anyway, that was 10 for the chairman. Very cool questions, very cool answers. Tell me your thoughts. So as announced at Gamescom, they have kicked off the modular interiors for the multi-crew ships. Now, the Retaliator was the first ship that they used. Well, it is the only ship at the moment, but we should start seeing other multi-crew ships having their modular systems on the website to purchase. So as mentioned, along with the Cutlass, these will be the first ships with the modular capabilities. We've got the Retaliator and the Cutlass so far. I think the Retaliator is likely to be the next one. And we're given the first 5 additional Retaliator modules. Now, these are available for pledges. I'll go through each one and tell you what each has to offer, plus the price. Now, existing Retaliators have 2 modular bays which can be swapped out in your hangar. They're currently fitted with the bomb bays, but you can build your own and have either cargo, troop transport, personal transport variants, or you can mix and match depending on what your needs are. So the first one we've got is the living space. We have front and rear. They say it's your home away from home. You can turn your Retaliator into a mini hangar. Now, these are $25 each, which is quite reasonably priced if you are just wanting to chill out in the back of a Retaliator. The front one includes a retractable dining table, a hollow screen, a personal storage area, and a drinks machine or sink. And the rear one includes, again, a personal storage area, 2 couches, retractable table and hollow screen, and it can be figured for your spec, or to your spec it says. I do love this one. I do like the Retaliator, and when I first saw it, it kind of put me off the fact it was all military-esque. Even though they had said it was going to be modular, I just couldn't get past the submarine feel, which is cool, but for me, I want to feel like I'm living and floating in an apartment. So with having these new living spaces, it really sort of broadens broadens it for me and makes me think actually I could quite happily own a Retaliator now. Anyway, the next module is a cargo module. Again, $25 each, and you have the front or rear. Each one includes 20 standard cargo units extra, and they have an independent lift platform as well. Very, very cool. Again, if you are wanting to transport some goods, you could have one living area, one cargo, or you could just have 2 cargo areas and have 40 standard cargo units. So the next one is called a dropship. Now this is for the front only, and it's quite expensive. It's $75. It comes with 12 troop seats, each with safety harnesses, so you can fit 12 people that you're dropping off. Pretty much like what the Redeemer's job is. So you would drop down, you'd come down to a space station, drop off all your troops, they would run in and start attacking, and you would take off again. It has 2 heavy weapon racks in the middle. The outer ring serves as an armory, and you can have 2 grenade ammunition cases, 4 rifle racks, 2 sidearm racks, and an energy charging station for all standard power armor. That is very, very cool, and if you are sort of military-esque org, owning one of them is probably a good idea. So the standard torpedo bays are $50 for the rear or $75 for the front. I'm not sure how this works. I think this is if you buy the unladen empty Retaliator, which was the latest one they put up, which I think is about $150 if you're in the US or $180 if you're in the UK. But the torpedo bays are sort of standard for most UEE military Retaliators, which I think if you pledged originally you will get the 2 torpedo bays still. The forward bay carries 4 torpedoes while the rear carries 2, hence the price difference. Now they do mention again that all pledges help go towards Star Citizen's development and will be available for purchase within the Star Citizen universe, the PU. Using United Earth credits, you don't actually have to pay any money other than your original pledge package. So as a concept sale, it says newly introduced items will include LTI, so your rooms will hopefully include LTI should they be destroyed. Now these modules are only concepts, not ready to be displayed in the hangar or flight ready because they haven't quite got them designed yet. You can purchase them up till August the 17th, so if you're interested in getting these for your Retaliator, I suggest getting them quick. There are more Retaliator modules in the pipeline. This is just the first 5. And as more mechanics in the persistent universe take form, then more modules will be built to support them. Things they say including cryostasis pods for bounty hunters, medical equipment, recharging stations for the Titan armor, and salvage equipment, plus more. So it gives us an idea of where they're going with this. The first 5 are your basic quick options, and then obviously later on down the line, depending on the certain roles that come up that are role specific, they will start, once they get the design down for each area, they'll start handing out different modules. Very, very cool. Tell me your thoughts on it. Have you got a Retaliator, and which modules are you going for? Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Let's move on. So, also this week, we met with Josh Coons in Meet the Devs. We had a new post titled Far From Home, which takes old Jegger discussing the dangers of drinking and flying. There was 2 galactic guides this week, probably due to the absence of Around the Verse. The first one was focusing on the Castra system, while the second was based on the Orisis system. Definitely worth checking out. I love the galactic guides. 1.1.6 was live, so we had a post detailing all the changes. If you're interested in what's new, please check out the post in the description. Star Citizen also released some new merchandise. These were track jacket pre-orders. They do look kind of cool, but I don't tend to wear track jackets, so I left it alone, and I'm glad I did because they are actually $58 if you live in the UK. And as mentioned in Gamescom, if you defeat all 18 waves of the Vandal Swarm, you will get the chance to buy or rent the Vandal Glaive. To buy it, it is $350, or to rent it with the rental equipment credits, it's $35,000. Okay, so on a final note, we have affiliated with Razer, as we feel they make excellent gaming products, and if you want to help our channel out, plus buy amazing hardware, use the link in our description, and we'll get a little kickback every time a product is bought. So yet again, we have come to the end of the show. I just want to say a big thank you to all our subscribers, and a massive thank you to all our patrons. You are truly helping our channel grow. If you are interested or able to help us out in way of a monthly donation from as little as $1 to any amount you deem fit, check out our Patreon page in the description. This really, really helps our channel to create more videos, better quality videos, and it allows us to get better hardware, better software, plus it allows us to spend more time on creating the videos. Don't forget to subscribe, comment if you have anything to say, show me the love by hitting the like button, and share it with all your friends and enemies. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you in next week's show.